1 year ago, Puerto Rico fought its toughest battle in history. Over $50 billion worth of damage, 3,000 people dead, and the whole island left in a state of uncertainty and pain. The devastation of Hurricane Maria was immediately felt and continues to impact people in so many ways. This is a problem, though, with many layers and stories of destruction and corruption, but also rebuilding and unity.
And I cannot fathom the thought that the greatest nation in the world cannot figure out logistics.
I think we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico. We're still helping Puerto Rico.
With so many different views and opinions in the politics and the media, it seems like nobody really cares to help, but rather just to blame. The only way to find out the truth was by going and listening, building relationships and not having an agenda. So that's just what we did. Last year, a month after the hurricane, we went and saw reality opposite of what was being portrayed. We heard amazing response to the documentary and have had lots of people telling us to come and see the progress.
And now, we're back to make a part 2.
I'm like out of breath, I'm out of energy.
Are you, so your app's out of there?
Yeah, I made it.
Well, we're at the airport. We have the clothes that we have on and other gear in our backpacks. Boomer even went so far as to not bring a toothbrush, deodorant, hair product.
I don't have hair product.
I decided not to shave. We're not going to Salt Lake, Maureen. Thanks, Maureen. Maureen, we're filming a video.
Maureen, I'm making a documentary! Anyway, yeah, unlike last year, we sort of have a plan today. We're texting Leo, our friend.
Wait, so you're saying we're not landing at midnight and trying to hitchhike around?
It's midnight. I think we just start walking.
Not landing at midnight, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, texted Leo. We're gonna really jump around and probably just try to stay a night everywhere. Meet people along the way, see different things, cover the whole
island. Yeah.
See what happens.
Thanks, sir.
Very well. Come back and see it.
Just landed in Puerto Rico, and a little bit different this time. We're not landing without a car or planning to hitchhike at midnight.
Hi, we just landed in San Juan, and we have a rental for tonight. We were going to see if you could pick us up. $500. I'll buy a car for $500 and then sell it before we leave, or give it to somebody. I bought my car for $600. I'm not renting a car for 10 days for $430. No, for real. This is crazy. We thought we had a plan, but guess what? No plan.
No plan, baby.
Okay. Well, I kind of like this. I'm kind of excited about it. That's not happening. All right. Well, let's get an Uber to Leo's house so we can get to bed.
We just got to Leo's house, just talked with him. He's freaking awesome. We're gonna interview him a bit in the morning, but otherwise, good night. After a good night's sleep, we were ready for our first day in Puerto Rico. The person that we've kept in touch with the most is Leo. We thought it would be great to interview him first to see his perspective on the island's progress.
Good to see you again, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's just give us like a brief update of like what the last year has looked like for you.
So there's things that they are working to improve. They've fixed a lot of the roads that were damaged, bridges that were damaged. We got power back there for like, it was almost a year. it took. The thing I see the most is the intersections, like the power's out. There's a lot of intersections that are still have no stoplights, so that's dangerous. There's no urgency like in a lot of places to get those things fixed. Cars are just waving by like it looks like a highway. So to cross that intersection, it's very dangerous. There's been 2 accidents there. No one has died, thank God. But if somebody dies, then most likely they're gonna, they'll come the next day and fix that. There's just things that need to be tweaked here and there that we need. I guess our politicians need to, work on. But for the most part, I can say we're back on our feet.
It was super encouraging to see Leo and hear how things were doing around the island. Now, we're off, but we still had a lot of things we needed to figure out.
So you're telling me we don't have a car, we don't have a place to stay tonight. What do you want to do?
I think we should hitchhike.
Hitchhike?
To this golf course and just see what's going on.
We're resorting back to hitchhiking.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we're here at Rio Bayamon Golf Course. A lady named Yvonne messaged us on Facebook. I think she's a manager here. She just said, hey, when you're here, come stop by, see how the repairs are doing, and come play some golf. So we're gonna go inside. We haven't even talked to her. We're gonna go inside and see what she's doing and see if we can't get out here on the course.
Yes?
Hi, Yvonne.
Oh my goodness!
How are you?
Nice to meet you!
Nice to meet you.
Oh,
How are you?
Good.
I'm Palmer. Nice to meet you. I'll give you a hug.
Okay, welcome to Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Great to see you.
Yeah,
oh my
nice to
goodness,
meet you.
what emotion. If you want to see the court, I can show you.
Yeah.
One of the things that experienced the most damage during the hurricane was all the landscape. And so Yvonne took us out on the golf course to show us just how her team came together to really restore everything there.
We think we're okay. Puerto Rican, we are a very, the kind of person that nothing stops us. Nothing stops us.
So much. What's up, dude? Good. How are you, bro? What's Palmer. Up, man? Good to meet you, man.
We're here with our friend Omar. He just picked us up. We actually met through Instagram. Pretty crazy how it happened. This guy that we met that day showed us all around his town and even let us stay at his house. It's pretty crazy how you can become friends instantly with a stranger through social media and YouTube. Sometimes when we live life without plans, opportunities arise to really do life with people. Good morning, y'all. It is the morning of day 3, and we still don't have a car. Every rental car place is either completely booked for all cars, or they don't take people who are under 25 years old, and me and Palmer are 22 and 23, so that is a problem as well.
Again.
Update, still no car.
So,
still don't have a car.
Company.
Still don't have a car.
And he said he...
Update, still no car.
that 590. Dude! We got a car, dude! We got a car!
And we were off. Puerto Rico gets an average of 4 million visitors a year, but that number has dropped in 2018. We still get asked all the time if Puerto Rico is worth visiting. Is it safe to be a tourist? Is everything back in order after Maria? And just in general, is Puerto Rico a cool place to see? I'll let it speak for itself.
Puerto Rico has some of the most beautiful beaches on the planet. Every coast of the island is lined with them. Even if you stay in San Juan, there are many clean, beautiful beaches to choose from right out of your front door. It's warm all year round, and the Caribbean waters stay at an enjoyable temperature too. For Boomer, this place is drone heaven. Mar Chiquita is the best example. Located on the northern coast, about an hour west of San Juan, this little round beach is tucked away, feeling like its own private little bay. A beautiful place to see, but not the best place to swim.
If you're looking to swim, Crash Boat Beach on the west coast is the place for you. Calm waters and amazing sand, and the best place to see a sunset. This is near Aguadilla, which is another place to fly in from the States. A smaller and quieter city if you're looking to relax and stay away from big crowds.
An hour and a half south takes you to Cabo Rojo. The southwest corner of the island is a small peninsula that is an incredible sight to see. You can take a short walk to a lighthouse built in 1881, hike around the 200-foot limestone cliffs it sits atop, or you can just enjoy the view from a secluded beach nestled right in the middle. You don't need to go far to see other amazing sights. The salt flats are right up the road, and even these incredible shots don't come close to seeing the color in person.
Driving a short half-hour inland gets you to some of the most mountainous, lush rainforest you've ever seen. Hikes for all skill levels with beautiful waterfalls to see, or if you're crazy like us, jump off of. If tours and historic things are what you enjoy, El Morro Fortress in Old San Juan is a must visit. No matter what you're into, Puerto Rico has something for you.
We saved the best for last. Our favorite place, the island of Culebra. This small island has all you need for a relaxing getaway. Located a short ferry ride or flight from Seba on the main island, it's a hidden gem.
Well, we're back on Culebra, which is one of my favorite places in the whole world. Last time, this is like one of the most touristed islands like we were at last time. And a lot of the restaurants weren't open. Everywhere looks like it's open this time.
The people are amazing, the restaurants are friendly and delicious, and you need to stay at Papa's Bay Cottage, an Airbnb built right on the sea. We met the lady who runs this while visiting last time, and she is the best host you could ever ask for. It's raining out. Time for some sendies.
The greatest part of all, though, Flamenco Beach. I guess you could say we love this place. Used as a testing ground in 1939, this pristine beach has a seemingly out-of-place tank sitting rusted on the sand. It adds a cool touch to a crystal clear beach often ranked top 10 in the world.
It's so encouraging seeing that people are here, they're enjoying this insane, beautiful beach. If, when you travel, you care more about food than the view, Puerto Rico has got you covered. With rich soil and warmth all year round, the fruit and vegetables are second to none. And after having none last year, the mangoes are back. So probably the biggest update that we have of us in Puerto Rico is that there is mangoes here. We got mangoes!
Fresh seafood everywhere, fish caught the same day. It's best known for its plantain dish, mofongo. But my favorite,
acapurias, a fried yuca with crab inside. Cheap and easy to find on the side of the road all over the island.
I'm telling you, if you see this sign, you turn off on the side of the road. The climate in Puerto Rico makes for a perfect place to grow coffee. They have some awesome roasters and coffee shops around the island, and all of it is roasted close by. We had an amazing opportunity to go to a coffee farm high in the mountains of Yauco. This is a 4th-generation family-owned farm, and Abi, who runs it and owns Café Don Luis in Old San Juan, gave us a full tour.
We got to see the processes and taste the coffee fresh from the source. He told us that the high elevation and temperatures at his farm delay the ripening and make the coffee beans the richest on earth. I would agree, I've never tasted better. Hurricane Maria did some damage to the farm, and they lost a lot of trees.
Wow, probably in our case, like 70% of the farm was destroyed.
This brings us to our next goal, which was to get an update on the impact on the island, and to see what Puerto Rico was still struggling with. Albie explained to us that after the hurricane, it will take up to 4 years for the new plants to produce coffee. Agriculture was hit hard. The central regions on the island are lush with vegetation, coffee, sugar, plantains, and all kinds of fruits and vegetables. The industry took a huge hit after Maria, with lots of plants getting damaged or wiped out. Another factor was that the houses in those areas were left destroyed, and many people who worked in the industry left for the city where conditions were better. Coffee is one of the hardest jobs in Puerto Rico to produce it. Why do you love it so much?
Well, I love coffee so much because I born in this. I born doing this. I remember when I was a little young, my father, after school, he put me every day a big boots. Okay, now we need to go to the fermentation tanks and work with the coffee. And as when you finish, now you are ready to continue with your homework, school homework. So
coffee first.
Coffee first, yes. And so that is something that is in my blood, and and that is something that I want to show to my little kids. Try to continue with this heritage in my family. That is something that started with my great grandfather in 19th century. So I'm the 4th generation working with this, and I hope that my twins, or at least one, will love the coffee as I love it.
That's awesome.
We're up in the mountains of Puerto Rico, and just to give you a visual of how steep these roads are, I just found this air vehicle, Finding Nemo, right here. I'm just gonna bomb this hill. I can't steer! I can't steer! Oh my
God. These roads in Puerto Rico are no joke.
And obviously we're joking with the whole toy car, but there's some truth to it. When you're driving on these roads that are already narrow, that are already steep, and there's huge potholes.
And a lot of them had the landslides come down and the trees on them. So the fact they're all clear now, but when we were here last time, they weren't.
The aftermath of the hurricane has made many people's jobs a lot harder. And since the pay is already more in the States, a lot of the educated people are leaving the island. As many teachers leave, schools are shutting down in large numbers. Doctors and other skilled workers are also leaving for better jobs in the US, where the need for bilingual workers is on the rise.
And we lost firemen and policemen.
Yeah, like a lot of people started retiring because the work was a lot.
Yeah.
They weren't like getting rest. The payment obviously wasn't worth it.
They were working double.
Exactly.
We are losing jobs. More people are moving to other states.
The police department lost a lot.
Like the crime rates and all of that, they have been going up too.
According to the Department of Public Safety, 800 officers left the island in the last year alone.
So, it's just hard to figure out what to say, like what conclusion to come to. Like the politicians are pretty corrupt, there's a bunch of different political things going on in the government, and a lot of the police have left, and the crime's risen, and it's not great in that regard, yet the people are amazing, and you need to come visit. That's pretty much it.
But someone you still see all over the island? FEMA.
This is the Puerto Rican Football Club main stadium. So this is the main stadium of their biggest soccer team here. And it's all being used right now for the Community Resource Center for FEMA. We're just gonna go have a conversation, see what's going on. How you doing? Am I good?
There are 35 of these recovery centers still open all over the island. FEMA and the Puerto Rican government have come together to keep these centers running and stocked with any resource that people might need. They are filled with representatives from local and volunteer agencies to provide assistance with housing repairs, commodities and clothing, wellness services, and legal support. Community recovery centers are expected to remain open at least through the end of 2018.
And you see, there's a whole bunch of people from different agencies, from Salvation Army. I don't know if you heard about them.
So I'm kind of frustrated because they didn't let us film, and this lady that I was talking to was giving us some really good insight. FEMA has bent over backwards to get on every radio station, every newspaper, every TV, social media, all the platforms, and telling them which areas to go to and what time and all these details, and yet they still don't know. Like, it's a two-way street. Yeah, FEMA is gonna go 50% of the way and help and provide the resources, but the people need to meet them halfway too. As FEMA's website says, these centers have 3 steps. Meet a case manager, connect with the agencies and volunteer organizations, and to take ownership of your recovery process.
They still are here over a year after the hurricane. Not only them, but these other organizations, over 20 of them, offering different services and resources and helping people out. And they see 100 people a day still.
So this is still, FEMA's still running the generators here, huh? It's all FEMA's supplied stuff?
I think.
Yeah, how long do you think it's gonna be till the main power line's connected again?
I don't know.
No idea. Do you know why it's not connected? Like, why? Like, is there a problem with the line itself, or?
We don't know yet.
Really, nobody knows. That's crazy. Well, that was just where the generators were. It's all FEMA supplied fuel. It's crazy that it's over a year after, and FEMA is still providing fuel non-stop to power all these houses and all the other resources that they are.
They don't know how long FEMA is gonna supply all this fuel and power. It might be another year, who knows?
Sometimes the people have to put pressure in things to make them happen. I mean, if FEMA is going to keep giving us the fuel, maybe we don't do anything, because that's easy.
Yeah. The majority of reports from Puerto Rico have been scrutinizing and blaming FEMA and the US government since the beginning.
I just want to get your response. He said it was amateur hour. Your response?
And Puerto Rico is very much in need as hurricane recovery efforts move at a snail's pace.
Just a big issue on an island of 3.5 million U.S. citizens still waiting for help.
Let the facts speak for themselves. This has been the largest and longest federal response to a disaster in the history of the United States. Over $3 billion of aid has been given everywhere around the island, and they continue to grant millions of dollars as things are still needed.
As you said, it's the different layers of the story, and that's what I feel that is missing from other outlets.
Yeah.
I think that the best way is to expose all those layers, all the stories that you've been hearing. Oh, I hear that, I hear this, I hear this, I hear this. The list is keep going and going.
Sure.
This is the greatest example showing the problems with the response. These over 10 million water bottles left undistributed and now unusable. But who's to blame? From all the research and people we talked to, we couldn't quite figure it out. First, they said that there was no supplies being delivered. Then, it was that the supplies weren't getting distributed. Now, it's that it wasn't organized correctly. Was this FEMA's fault? Or the Puerto Rican government's responsibility? Or just a complex situation as a whole?
Also tonight, there's more evidence contradicting President Trump's claim that his administration's response to last year's hurricanes is a tremendous success.
You know, let's talk about the water bottles. I understand the excess, but why did you leave it on the tarmac in the sun to go bad?
Another example of sort of the failed response.
FEMA had placed the responsibility squarely on the government of Puerto Rico.
When you put the water on the tarmac, the government was supposed to come and get it, according to FEMA.
They were blaming it on this person and blame. It's just blame and this bad. And it's just, they don't just say it to say it. They say it to try to push the blame onto somebody.
As a Puerto Rican, I feel really proud of the mission that we had in Puerto Rico to serve 3.4 million people with safe water and safe food. That we carried that mission until May of this year, that we gave 93 million liters of bottled water to folks, that we gave safe and secure care to the families in Puerto Rico for an extended period of time. That I would say that when we have a massive historic transfer of commodities from 1,000 miles from the United States to Puerto Rico, that you're going to have excesses. And that when we had that excess, we had filled out all the warehouses in Puerto Rico. Everyone that could get water from us got the water from us. And what I would say as a Puerto Rican is that I feel proud of the work that FEMA has done in Puerto Rico, which is supporting when no one else is supporting. What I would say also is that FEMA is not the solution for all the problems, but part of the solution. There has to be a whole community approach.
And then, but like you said, through a lot of the stuff, can we learn to come together? You know, and I think that that's what we really saw here was people coming together. It was really a horrible event, but people had to come together and work together to solve some things. And that should be the goal through it, no matter what, instead of just trying to use different stories or different things to separate people. But yeah.
Puerto Rico is an incredible place, a small island containing vast landscapes, from tropical rainforests to pristine beaches. The people are kind and the culture is amazing and unique. Hurricane Maria will never be forgotten. The impact still sends shockwaves through the landscape, economy, and culture. The effect on the island was not just for a month or a year, but one that would challenge the people forever. The problem with Puerto Rico is that it is unstable. The infrastructure is poor and it's sitting at a vulnerable spot on the globe. Another hurricane could come and bring everything back to square one at any time. The government also has its shortcomings. Politicians aren't great with getting along with FEMA or other governments, and they have their problems of their own. The media is very divisive, with an agenda not just showing truth.
But doesn't this all seem familiar? Nothing is ever promised. Natural disasters happen everywhere, and no one can guarantee a life without unpredictable circumstances. No government is without flaws, and putting all of our faith into a system is never going to work. There's always going to be someone trying to divide, and media, just as in everything, is filled with people with bitterness and pride. Is the problem with Puerto Rico, or is it within each one of us? If we're looking for the bad or to blame, we're sure to find exactly that. Forgiveness is rare between friends, and nearly non-existent towards leaders. Division and separation starts with us. Humility and grace are almost foreign concepts anymore. But unless we choose to lay aside our ways for the needs of another, we just add to the problem. We're busy looking past our faults and seeing everyone else's, missing the unique glory in each person. So let me ask you again, is the problem just with Puerto Rico, or is it with us? All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I have to cough, hold on. Okay, I'm good.
Do you need to cough again? Or?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, sorry, go ahead. I'm ready now.
Thank you so much for everyone who watched this video and made this possible for this trip. We really hope you enjoyed our crazy journey and you were educated on some things and you learned more about this world and people.
My name is Palmer and this is Boomer, and we're filmmakers and storytellers here in Denver, Colorado. We just have a passion to sit with people, and we really believe that doing that and telling stories can really bring us all together.
It's so easy to sit back in our bubbles and the way of doing life and think we have everything figured out while pointing fingers at just evil in the world. Yes, there are a lot of horrible things happening out there, but it starts with us, and we can't let that divide us. It starts with you and me laying down our pride, showing humility towards others, and loving our neighbors as ourselves.
Yeah, and we really believe what the Bible has to say about unity. And we think that it's not just a good way of doing life, but it is the truth to bring us all together. And we would love to connect with you. So if you just want to hang out or you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to us. And if you have a story to tell, we would love to help.
We are super excited to announce our new series called A Day in a Life here in Denver. We're going to be picking 10 vastly different people from all cultures and spending 24 hours with them. And as we record their lives, we're going to be asking them the same questions to have a graceful understanding of people's perspectives and how they live different lives.
We don't think that we have it all figured out, but we really have seen fruit and love shared through doing videos like this, and we believe that they can have a positive impact through social media and YouTube. These videos are something we love to do, and we've seen our gifting grow in them, but they are a lot of work. We would love to do them more full time, and if you would like to get involved in our journey financially to allow that to happen, we will link all of the ways to do that right here, or please just reach out to us.
We are praying that Christ would teach us all more about being poor in spirit, a hunger for righteousness, and merciful, the true blessings of life. And we need to have an internal perspective of going about this journey.
Thanks again for watching. Remember to keep space in your day for interruptions, and sometimes the best plan is no plan.
Good one. Come on.